Oh snap, we're live. Now I don't know which time is right. This one or this? Well, now it's proper time. Hello. Let's see, we got Technical Fud here, the Crazy Scotsman, and Fuzzy. Fuzzfork. 8. What's the 8 for, Fuzz? Let us know in the comments. All right, it looks like it's working. I still can't see the chat on my iPad. I have to be Uncle Jim 3, which is weird. But they take away, I guess this is new. If you get a strike, you can't do a sticky, you can't do a link, you can't do other stupid things. And evidently you can't see your own live. And I'm not sure if you can do just a regular live without a Streamyard. I don't know. Reloader 762 is here. So that's kind of weird. Next time you get a strike, don't be surprised. They got these new things now to punish you. I think for 3 months. Bastards. Bunch of communist bastards. Did everyone see Tucker's interview with Putin? That's pretty rare, being able to interview Putin. And then he kind of badmouthed him when he got back to the hotel. He's like, yeah, he was 2 hours late. He's always late. Not very good at answering questions. It's like, you're still in Russia. You better wait till you get home. Otherwise, yeah, some James Bond stuff's going to happen to you. Old one guy is here. Hey. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. That's what I like about him. He just tells it like he feels. So usually you would be nice until you're across the border. Rollis is here. Hey, how's it going? Might fall out the window, yeah. Anyway, Andy's going to be on in a minute here, hopefully. Otherwise, I'll have absolutely nothing to say. I'm drinking coffee, trying to wake up. Bisley Blackhawk is here. Hey. So, yeah, excuse the Christmas mug. Garage Guy is here. Ashley is here. So what else? Yeah, he also interviewed, I forget his name, military. Anyway, that was pretty scary. So yeah, good stuff. I'm glad Tucker is free. And I think I see Dr. Zink here. Poof.
And the Zinc Master's in the house.
Vanessa Kitty is here. Hey, Andy, what's up?
How you doing?
Trying to wake up.
I'm stuffed. We went out for dinner.
What'd you have?
What do you have when you go out to a steakhouse? Steak.
Well, you didn't tell me you went to a steakhouse.
I don't go to anywhere else. Well, I could go to a diner, but
Did they have a vegan menu there?
nope.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I bet it was good.
I enjoyed it. It's not the restaurant we wanted to go to. We get to the place we want to go to, the line's out the door and down the block. Yeah, that ain't happen. We got Texas Roadhouse. It's a chain, but really good food. So we went to an old standby, which is good. It was good. I enjoyed every bit of it.
I think. Oh, by the way, Uncle John is here. He just can't post. It's a glitch.
Okay. Hi, Uncle John.
And Michael Hurtneck is here.
Hi, Michael. Still no box. You sent me a box. It's got to be a month and a half sitting in Texas.
Wow. I think Jerry went to a Texas Roadhouse in the Philippines. which is weird being there, but yeah. Just to be honest, what's this say here? I don't know who Tucker Carlson is or why I should care, but keep getting notices about him last couple of years. Oh, you might want to check him out. He's the only voice that's not the mainstream media. Yeah, might want to check him out. And he's changed quite a bit recently, or last couple of years. Let's see. Yeah, so I finally learned how to cook a steak in a pan.
Cast iron.
I always butchered it or whatever, and now I know how to cook a steak in a pan where it's nice and tender and good and not overdone.
Cast iron pan, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
That's the first step, using the right pan.
Yeah, you got to have some oil to heat it and bathe it in, keep it moist. And, I always thought you flip it once. No, that's not how you do it. So,
You sear it.
you sear it on all ends, and then you can cook it slow,
Yep.
And that makes all the difference in the world.
Okay.
So it's too bad it costs a fortune just to have steak nowadays, but.
Well, I switch. I'm not happy with most store-bought steaks, even from butchers. There just seems to be something off about the ones we get here in New York. So what I really like is the old steak nobody ever wanted, skirt steaks. Okay, and now skirt steaks was the cheapest steak you could buy. Now you can't touch them; they're just as high as anything else, or higher.
Yeah, and then you got aged meat versus just produced out the window.
Yeah. But yeah, we had what did I have? A ribeye, 12-ounce ribeye, with a little thin. They got to cut it thicker. Make a. When they're too thin like that, they're too stringy. They don't cook the same way.
You had to bring up cast iron. Fuzzy's been doing cast iron videos. Cast iron this, cast iron.
I used to cast iron everything years and years ago, but
yeah,
I just things changed. I still have the pans, but I don't do it anymore. The only thing I cook now in cast iron is zinc, and it comes out good.
Yeah, I saw your video. Don't run out of that tin now.
I got at my house. I have to have about 800 pounds of it.
Wow.
And I was, if the people don't want to swap zinc that they don't use for something they can use, that's expensive. They're getting the better end of the deal than I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if they say, well, I don't really need tin. All right, well, I'll send you wheel weights already melted down. I got about 1.5 tons of that stuff. So, I have no problem to trade. Okay. But, hey, if somebody says I have nothing to trade with you and I really want the tin, what do you want for it? Well, a cheap price would be $4 or $5 a pound. So $50 for the small flat rate box, you're guaranteed at least 10 pounds, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still a good deal, but I'm not worried about it. Did you see CW's video with the zinc?
No. What, recent vid or what?
He put it up. It popped up today. His 300 blackout bolt action. First time shooting the zinc bullets. He's been putting it off, and he finally decided to give it a shot, and he was impressed.
He used a big mold, obviously, so you got some.
It's 180 grain. It's a Lyman mold. I don't know the number. I don't know the numbers, but it comes out at 113 in zinc, and he was shooting. It's not a powder, I know, but N120. And so I put it into my, quick loads based on the rest of the information. And he was coming out around between 14 and 1,500 feet per second with the maximum powder he used. But it's not really the right powder. He can get a lot more velocity out of it if he changed the powder.
Yeah, that's slow for that light of a bullet. However, if it shot good.
Well, that was about a 1.5% to 2% compressed powder load. The case only with N120 must be a bulky powder. I don't use it. It's just above the first bend in the neck of the case.
Yeah, so, I haven't used it either.
I put it in the quick loads, and it said the case fill was 102%. Okay, and I got 1,467 feet per second. I forget my powder that I use in my heavy loads. I have to always look things up, but I'm closer to 1,800, and I got plenty of room to go. He ran out of room because of the case capacity for the powder he used. He was really happy. He found 2 nodes, which was great. He found a node at about 14 grains, and then the next node was at this maximum load, 16 grains, and both of them had. One of them had 3 bullets in one hole, and one had 2 bullets in one hole, and then 1 touching. So, and that was 50 yards, So he was like impressed. So I'll be making up him a bunch of zinc bullets now.
Yeah, I have 2 light ones that I use for rat farts with Trail Boss, and they're super accurate.
Yeah,
but they're going slow,
Yeah. But he's got, if you got to go with what you're shooting at. If you're really out there, 100-yard target or less, and you're target shooting, you're going to work up a load and find the nodes and decide where you want to be. The low node or the high node, and once you load for that. This is his first time shooting zinc, so I wasn't exactly sure what to expect, but his compliments on everything through the video, on how the bullet shot and everything else. He was impressed. The only thing he didn't mention, which I threw in there, I forgot to mention the recoil level was a lot less.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I was watching Kenny shoot some full up 44 mag, and his son was saying, "Wow, this is like a 22 almost."
Kenny does, but Taco's doing a lot of zinc shooting now, so you got to catch if you haven't seen some of his in the last. Well, he's been busy for a while, so I usually have to go back about 3 months or so, where he was playing with zinc and work your way forward a little, and he was shooting 300 yards.
Hey,
on a windy day, 6 inches. You have to aim 6 inches to the left because of the wind.
Because it's light.
Well, he was hitting steel. He was, shooting steel. So we had to about 6 inches to the left or whatever way the wind was blowing. And he could 5 in a row at 300 yards.
Cat. Oddball Stuff is here. Hey, Oddball. He did a little thing on bastards. That was pretty funny. Bastard files. Leon, what the heck? Anyway. All right. Well, eventually, someday, I'll give it a shot.
Like I said, when you're ready, you let me know. No big deal.
Yeah, too much stuff on the right now. I got a million projects on the bench. Haven't started a thing.
And Michael Hartnick, I mean, you got to text me with your address. So I still want to send you a box of goodies. I'm not worried about the zinc. I'll send you a box of goodies out so you can start playing with the zinc like you want. And, eventually you'll get more zinc. Send another box. What can I say?
Yeah. That tin looks really good. I bet it works better than pewter. So that's what I use.
To start out with, when I first started bringing that stuff home, I decided I was going to try to straight cast with it. It cast a beautiful bullet, but it's light.
Yeah, silver bullets. Yeah.
It's light. So they shot fine. You just have to, find just like any other bullet.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, oh shit, I don't have to worry about getting lead for the rest of my life because I can bring home all this I want. And then I wound up with so much lead. I said, now how much more am I going to take home of this? So,
Wow, I got a growler here. He sounds like a Briggs and Stratton right now.
So I took new updates, nothing on the Rossi, not shot it yet. Yeah, I know. So I decided to, I mentioned to you last time I bought one of those triggers pull testing boundage crap bullshit things. And so I said, let me take out my old gun, which I don't think I have fired in probably 30 years. The 2-inch Chief Smith & Wesson model 36, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now the way I have it is the way I bought it. I haven't done anything to it. This guy had a set of Pacmaya grips on it, but they were like big.
Huge. Yeah.
No, but they were huge for the gun. And I'm going like,
yeah. It's a little snub and it's huge. Is that a square butt or a round butt?
Round butt.
Oh, nice. That's the detective gun, the cop gun.
The Chief. They call it the Chief Special or something. And anyway, so I pull off I looking at the gun. The Pacmayas obviously weren't for this frame that were on there because the part that goes up by the trigger guard was sawed off.
Oh, okay. So he tried to make a K-frame work?
I guess so. Okay, that's what, again, the gun's been apart 30 years ago, cleaned it, oiled it, that kind of thing, and shot it a few times and put it away. It hasn't been touched.
Oh, man. If I had extra J-frame grips.
Well, I got them already. I picked up, I went on, I pulled the grips off, and I'm going, oh my God. I said, it's my fault. I let the gun sit for 30 years, but it was wrapped in an oil rag, but the back strap of the frame, I guess you want to call it, down where the handle, the grip is over it, it's got some surface rust. The spring is clean. The gun did have some cylinder areas with surface rust when I got it. And like the top strap had a little, it wasn't a well taken care of gun when I got it.
Well, it got a little moisture, humidity, but yeah, you can take that out.
So anyway, I took the grip off and I go, this grip ain't right for this gun. I was like, what the hell? And I know I have the wood grips put away because he gave them to me when I bought the gun. It's in a box in one of my storage things. Okay. But I didn't want the wood grips because I have a little bit bigger hand, okay? The funky grips fit my hand, okay?
Yeah, and then you got the gap under the trigger. I like the Tyler T extensions, but you can't get those anymore.
So I just bought one. I just looking around. I went on Amazon and typed model S&W model 36 Pacmaya. Boom, and there it was. There were two choices. One had the finger molding on the grip, and one was plain. So I didn't like those finger molding things. So I took the plain. I got it yesterday, and I'm looking at it. I said, this thing is tiny compared to what was on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said, all right, well, so now I got to work on the gun. I bought some 4.0 steel wool today. So maybe tomorrow I'll be downstairs. I'm going to work on the hidden part of the frame under the grips, get that cleaned up and oiled. And then the other thing, I'm looking at the gun. This guy must have tried to take the chamber out, and it's left-handed, not right-handed. And I don't know if I can even get it off because it's all the end is mangled. It's cut. I don't want to say mangled. What do you want to call the knurling on the end is all scraped off, and it's like covered with somebody like blued it.
You're talking about the ejector rod?
Yeah, the ejector rod, you open it.
You can get a replacement.
Yeah, I saw them already. I get $8, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, but I got to make sure, because I didn't try to take it apart yet, that it is left-handed. left-handed thread.
Yes, it's the opposite.
Yeah, that's because I saw one video, the guy's showing taking one apart, and he's going, well, some of them were left and some were right. I go, well, wait a minute.
No, that he there was one Smith and Wesson that went the Colt way, but that's very few. I've held one, but very few people have ever seen those. So they're all the opposite of a
left-handed, lefty tighty.
Yeah.
So I have to sit down with it tomorrow. It's already the piece is already ruined. The piece, whatever you want to call that, that's already ruined. So I said, okay, I don't care how I grab it as long as I can get it off. And so then I can clean everything thoroughly, order the new piece. And because when I went online looking for it, nobody mentioned left or right hand thread. Not one of them. I found like six of them, brand new ones, but nobody's mentioned left-handed.
If it's Smith and Wesson for a J frame, it's going to be that thread.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it's correct. It's only $8. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
but I don't want to have to ship it back and $10 to ship it back to the guy. Like
the gun I was talking about, it was more of a, what was it, a K or an N frame? It went the other way, turned the other way. But let's see, West Covina Dodge is here. Eagle Eye is here. Did I say Jag 1 was here? Probably not. Yeah, so you're going to get the proper part, hopefully.
They seem to be easy enough to get. It's not like, there was only 2 guys in the world that had it. So.
I think I have an extra that I had because, like, sometimes you'll pick up revolvers and they're either bent or somebody got the knurling on the end. And
well, that's the only reason why I want to remove it, because the guy, like I said, I bought this gun, I guess around 77 to 78, and they tracked it. The gun store said he doesn't know for sure, but between 60 and 62 is when it was made. Okay. Well, I worked in the gun store. I was a range officer in their range. Okay. And when they were busy and we were dead downstairs, I would, up in the store helping. But the owner, he says, no, he's pretty sure it was made between 60 and 62. The serial number is a little odd because it doesn't have a J. It has a 1. 1-8 something or other. It's like, so I've been trying to research it, and it seems like it's going to be 60 to 62, 64 worst case when it was made. So, nice. But I only paid $50 for the gun.
It's a classic.
So I want to clean it up a little bit. Okay, make sure it's not going to get any further rusting. So the question is on the bluing things that I've seen. They tell you to put oil on it and use the 4-0 steel wool very lightly, like in one direction, and
well, what the key is wiping it off and wiping it
right,
not grinding rust in there.
They would say make 2 passes. He said you're not pressing hard, then clean it off with alcohol. He said clean it off good, and then put some more oil on it. Do it again. He was being over clean, but
yeah, I don't know about the alcohol thing.
That was to wipe off the old oil to get all the particles. That's
don't
all.
Be grinding the crap into the gun. Yeah, that's all you got to worry about. Yeah.
So
and then when you take it off, just take a piece of leather if you don't have, to protect that knurling, even though it's screwed up. Take it off, and then when you put it on, nice piece of leather there, and don't over crank it.
Yeah, well, that's the point. I mean, I've taken my Dan Wesson apart 100 times.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal. I have something I use I put in the jaws, 2 pieces of leather, basically, like you're saying. But I put some leather. I tried those pliers. I'm like, I can't move this. I says unless it's opposite thread. Okay, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, and the son of a bitch who had this, he probably tried to take it apart and couldn't because he turned it the wrong way. So, I mean, you can't tell it unless you really hold it up to you, close and look at it. But I'd like to put it back the way it should be for less than $10. Why not?
Yeah, they often get screwed up there with people doing stuff to them.
And the only good part about it, it's nice and small, so all I have to do is take off the grips, and I
know, like,
put the whole thing with cylinder and everything. I'll take the side plate off of it, put the whole thing on my ultrasonic cleaner and let it sit.
I think I do have two J-frame grips. I don't have a J-frame anymore. I used to have the Bodyguard and what else? But I might have a couple grips. One wood. I don't know how they'd fit. They're going to vary.
Yeah, I have the original ones though. I know I have them. So,
Well, it's like a little finger groove type wood grip, it's a carry grip.
Yeah, but the Pacmai is fine. It's I didn't expect it to be so small. When I got it, I said, "Wow, this is small compared to what the guy had on there." I just figured he had the wrong one. He had it laying around, and he put it on there, and he cut it to fit.
He had a club on there. That's what he had.
And it's like, okay, So I mean, I have the new one downstairs, but I just quickly fitted it. Fit right on, no problem. And now things that I saw in some of the videos, this does not have a pin through the butt that's like a guide for the handles, for the grips, I should say. So I saw one he showed like there's a pin through the bottom, which is a alignment hole to line the grips up. The grips had holes in them. Mine don't have that, so I don't know if that's
you don't have a roll pin at the base of the frame?
Right, no pin.
Okay.
And and it's a through hole in the grips, not screwed in from the bottom. Which some of them I saw had the ones that seem to have the pins in it, the screw to hold the grips on were on the bottom. So those are even older, I guess.
No, that's different. That's what's their name? You're talking about the clip and the screw that's gosh darn it.
And that clip was held on by that pin.
Yeah.
And then the grips slid over the pins.
Yeah, no, on yours, do it the regular way, through the middle.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I got. That's the Pacmai. It just said Model 36.
How come I can't think of the other name now? Geez, it has the clip. Hogue.
Oh, the Hogue grips?
The Hogue grips have the clip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I saw Hogue grips. I said, they look big compared to the other one. I said, if I get the wrong thing, it's Amazon. I send it back. No big deal.
I believe it's Hogue. It's not Butler Creek. It's Hogue. I can go grab my box of little grips. I wish I had a J-frame again. They're just fun little. Well, I have the Ruger. I don't need the J-frame. That's right.
Hey, Tin Man's out there.
Yeah. Hey, Tin Man. Yeah, he texted me. He was giving me crap about the turret.
Just clean it.
Well, I might make that my personal project. Anyway, yeah.
What, you're going to hang it on the swinger?
No. I got to use it. Or
I have to look downstairs. I think I have a couple of those 4-hole turrets.
Don't you have a 4-hole dirt press?
I have a 4-hole, the new version of the Lee, but you're using it on what do they call it? The Lee classic turret? Oh, I don't have the classic version. I have the newer version.
Okay, but they're the same turret.
Yes, I probably have some downstairs.
No, that's all right. Use it for your press.
I almost don't even use that press anymore.
Well, you can sell it with the press.
But I have plenty of them. I mean, I have like 4 or 5 of them.
That's okay, Andy.
No, I'm just saying I have it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I have that I'm not going to be using. I don't know what I'm doing with the press yet. It's tough to sell a press when the shipping costs almost as much as what you're going to sell it for.
Yeah, it's better to do it locally. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my current project is because I just can't go out and shoot. I don't need to load any more bullets right now until I go out and shoot and get my ladder test down for the 38 stuff. And I'm hoping the same load is going to work right in the revolver, the Dan Wesson, as it does in the Rossies, as far as accuracy goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to have two different bullets. Like my 223 bolt action and my AR, I've got the same high-end load, the AR level load that works fine in both guns. Okay. But if I put my low-powered, my subsonic stuff in there, it obviously doesn't activate the action in the AR, but it's accurate.
Yeah.
So it's more accurate in the bolt than it is in the AR, but I'll get, let's say, 3/4 of an inch at 50 yards out of the bolt, and I might get 1 inch out of the AR. So I really can't complain, for a low powder charge. So and again, that's all zinc. That's not, I'm talking zinc bullets. I haven't shot any. I have a ton of 223 loaded with 55 grain full metal jackets that I loaded them all up when I first got the AR. I was loading them and loading them and loading them, and it's like I hardly shoot that anymore. So it's like I got whatever it is, 3,000, 4,000 rounds loaded in the basement, and I'm not shooting it because I have two ARs. One is a 20-inch with the Cali bolt in it. That's the one I built, so it's New York compliant. Okay, and so that's a single shot basically. You pull the trigger, you have to, open and close the bolt on it. Okay, the regular AR, that one I took the upper off and put the 300 blackout on. So I'm having more fun with the 300 blackout than I am with the AR. So with the 223. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
backwards zinc Lyman 520. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's the other one playing with zinc. He's having fun with the zinc.
Wait a minute. He loaded them backwards for like a giant hollow point.
That's what he just said.
Well, I saw his video. I saw straight holes, so that's good.
Oh, I didn't see his video.
Yeah, I saw his second one right before he came on. Cold-hearted bastards here. Boots and bullets is here. Hey guys, I'm gonna go in the garage here, but yeah, he did some shotgunning today.
Yeah, see, again, the comment. To me, the endorsement from CW today is shooting the 300 blackout in his bolt. The endorsement he gave on zinc bullets was that people are gonna wake up from that watch his stuff. They're gonna realize that it is a real alternative.
Yeah, it's probably the way we're gonna have to go unless they open lead plants again. People start.
Well, that's the environmental people. That's not. That's your big issue. Lead is no good for you. Excuse me, it's in the ground already. So what do you do?
Yeah. Well, everyone's got it in their batteries, don't they?
Yep.
That gets them home, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But you don't want to be taking batteries apart for lead. That's so nasty.
It's worse than nasty. If you think lead is bad, you can get sick from lead. Those chemicals inside that battery will kill you.
Yep. If anything, just cut the things off of them. I've done that before. Where you take the
terminals.
I can't even pronounce terminal anymore. I'm getting terminal, I tell you.
The terminals.
So yeah, I've done that before turning the battery in. Just took the clippers out and poof, whopped them off. They're nice and soft.
I just whack them with a hammer. They pop right off. But my friend in the repair shop says, Andy, please don't do that to the batteries. I can't. They don't want them back without those terminals.
No, they don't. I know, because they reuse everything. And for people that don't know, you can actually jolt a battery and get several more years out of them.
Yeah.
Just getting the crust off the inside panels.
Yeah. That stuff is, well, that's what shorts the plates out. That's it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that and then sell used batteries that people just turned in free because they didn't work. And then they take the welder out and zap them.
Yeah.
The stick welder, and boom, bang, pow. Sometimes it takes 2 tries to get it like full charge type deal back to normal.
That's all right. And well, the price of batteries are off the wall too now. So go buy a battery.
Yeah, we were going to zap the last one just because, well, the price is crazy.
When I used to pay $85 for the battery in my race car, is now $150. Same battery.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Yep. So, yeah, I imagine, I hate to say it, but I used to throw zinc away.
Everybody did.
And I don't throw stuff away. You should see my garage. It's got all kinds. I'm
like you. I have stuff for 20 years. When I finally decide I'm not going to use it 20 years later, and I throw it out the next day I need it.
That's right.
Look at your spring drawer, and your bolt drawer, and your washer drawer. Every time you need something, you go through, this one I need. That's like the same thing. I got big coffee can, the big coffee pans, not the 1 pounders, whatever they were, 5 pounds, 3 pounds.
Yeah.
I got filled with nuts and bolts and stuff.
Yeah, and if we throw an appliance or something away, we take it apart. We save the sheet metal on the outside. It's got vents. You can make stuff out of that.
Right.
Then we save the nuts and bolts and
the motor, if it's good.
Roller parts. There's all kinds of valuable stuff in there.
I know.
Pulleys, or
yep.
Our wet tumbler has an IBM motor in it. My son got somewhere. And then the pulleys and all that. So that was half free. A bed frame. It's almost, I think it was all free. We had the shafts. Yeah. Oh, we had to buy the vacuum belt. Big deal. 2 for $3.
Well, that's the whole thing. When you want, I can't read. I got that stupid heart over Boozers and Bullets comment. I can't read what he wrote.
I can quote it. He said, "Yep," and then he said,
"Was the CW first?" Yes, that was CW's first experience. I sent him those bullets. Got to be 8 months ago, maybe longer. And he finally loaded them up about 2 weeks ago. And he was going to the range. I said to him, "You ever going to shoot those zinc bullets you loaded for the 300 blackout?" "Oh, that's a good idea." And so he finally took it.
I saw an older video of Booze and Bullets. He was using the TCM bullets surplus in 223, and they're 45 grain, I believe. And I was thinking, man, I wonder if those feed in a 5.7. But you can't get them that cheap anymore, right? That was like a couple years ago. Booze and Bullets, you still find a cheap source of those? They were hollow points too, I think.
Well, I told you when I got the bullet for your 5.7.
Zinc. Yeah, I know.
I got the bullet. That bullet is going to be perfect in that gun. And I got it. Well, it's part of the reason, Michael Hartneck, make sure you text me with your mailing address, because you're going to be the first one to test them.
Kyle is here, and he's not the Lusk. Hey, Kyle. He's the other Kyle. Sometimes we have 2 Kyles.
So definitely want to. I know that bullet's going to make you happy in your 5.7.
That's going to be a screamer.
You're going to like that bullet. And when you find the load for it and you find the accuracy node, you're going to go, holy shit. because that's going to be a screamer. So it's you know, it's gonna work very good in that gun.
Yeah, and my son has the hots for one of those little pistols with the braces in 5.7. So I don't know if he's. I don't know.
Well, I can cast you those bullets in lead too if you want. And send them both to you.
You know what's funny is I was thinking I have in my file cabinets somebody's 223 reloads, and so I looked in my RCBS puller, the cullet puller,
Yeah.
and luckily I had a 223 cullet in there. Must have come with it. Must have came with it, and I was happy about that because I got brass and primer in there, and I can pull them, change the powder, and put them back together. Or I can use them for 5.7. I'd have to weigh the bullets.
Mr. Kyle, no, send them the way they are, dirty, muddy, whatever. Clips are fine. Send as found.
Yeah, just make sure they're not plastic or steel.
Well, the zinc pretty much all has a ZN on it. The steel weights look totally different than zinc weights. The clip is almost like riveted on. It's a spot weld or something like that. You can easily tell the difference.
Yeah, it's the plastic ones that get me because they're the color of zinc, but they're definitely
yeah, but in your hand you can feel the difference.
Yeah, they're definitely lighter. But I'm talking about when you're going through buckets and
Yeah, I know.
You have to stop.
Oh, I have I have the bucket I'm pulling from. I'm sitting on a chair, one of those little folding chairs. The bucket's between my legs, and I got 3 buckets. Lead on the left, center is the junk, and the one on the right is the zinc. And that's what I do. Just put them in this bucket.
Well, I started a shoebox for you, but it's kind of lame because I went with the easy wheel weights first that were brand new. Those are easy. Just dump them in a bucket. They were in the box. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle, when you melt them down, when you melt down a zinc wheel weight, the steel clips don't necessarily float to the top. They kind of like hover wherever they feel like it. So you got to scoop it quite a few times to get them all out. But that I'm gonna melt them all down in a big pot on my turkey flat fryer, and so it's no big deal. I scoop them out, start scooping out the zinc, and I'm not even doing it that way anymore. When I'm casting now, because when you got to remember it's a small pot. It's only like what is it? The Seiko pot, 8 pounds lead pot, 8 to 10 pounds, whatever it is. And so when it gets down halfway, you're not getting good pours anymore. It's not enough weight. So you have to fill it back up. So if I got to fill it up with ingots of zinc, I got to walk away for a half hour for the whole pot to get that hot again. So what I've been doing is I got the turkey fryer, thanks to Uncle Jim's idea of putting the cover over it and all this crazy stuff that I did. And I have that up. When I start the Seiko pot up, I start the pot on the turkey fryer, which has zinc in it already, melted, from the last time. When that melts, I fill it up with more zinc, wheel weights. I continue casting. When my pot gets low for casting, I go over to that. I scoop out all the pieces. It's already up to temperature. I scoop it out with the ladle, pull it right into the other pot. When I fill up the pouring pot, I fill the other one back up with wheel weights and go back to casting. So there's no downtime in between, and so I can get a lot more casted that way. Yeah, I'm using the gas, but it's worth it to me not to. Why do all the work of making the ingots and cleaning it, and then when it's time to cast, it takes a long time to heat up. So I just clean it as I go.
Booze and bullets. Is there still good deals on those little Those little hollow points. Now I just forgot. TCM bullets. You might have stepped out. I was saying you did a video about 3 years ago, and you were getting them like 500 for $30 or some crazy crap. And I was thinking, well, that'd be good in a 5.7. Anyway, I don't think those bullets are even around anymore. I don't know. Let me know.
Yeah.
Oh, he hasn't checked in a while. Okay.
The bows and bullets, the slag, as you mentioned, in the zinc is more. What you seem to get when you melt down your zinc and you stir it good and you get all the, you start getting the clips out of it and it just keeps heating. It's like you build up a sludge. I don't know what's coming out of the zinc. I don't know what that material is. What I should do is next time I melt down, I should take a couple of tablespoons out and bring it to work and measure it on the machine to find out what's in it. But whatever it is, it's separating from the zinc, and that's what's floating to the surface. We're calling it slag, but it's different.
Okay, Jag. I was talking to Taco on the phone yesterday, and I forgot to ask him about the NOE insert. And there was something else I forgot to talk to him about. Anyway. Kenny, if you're still listening in the shop or something, get a hold of Taco. He's been wondering if you answer his texts anymore. And I said that Kenny's a little text challenged sometimes on his phone. I don't know if he's got two phones or something. So I told him I'd tell you to get a hold of Taco. All right.
Jag, to answer the question, the most I have out of it, because I've talked to Taco quite a few times about that. It's not a priority project to him.
Well, it's NOE that it's not a priority.
Okay, it's not a priority project to him because he doesn't think a lot of people are going to buy it.
Well, Taco's really busy. He's got a million projects.
Yeah,
too. He's got.
He made one. But it didn't have the pour spout in it yet. He made a complete container, and he put it together. He gave it to Taco. Taco put it inside the Lee mold, and the Lee mold heated it. The Lee pot the Lee pot heated it up just fine. It took a little longer than he expected. And I told him, I said, well, you got to understand, it's a 20-pound pot. The Seiko's only an 8-pound pot. It's a big difference. Okay. So you're heating up a hell of a lot more zinc. And he says it melted fine. He actually threw in raw wheel weights and cleaned it. It worked fine. Okay. He just hasn't worked on the spout because it's got to line up with all, using the Lee stuff.
Yeah. And he's been swamped at work. So,
he's been busy.
He's kind of swamped. Plus, he's got family stuff, and
he's got a lot going on. He did put out, Taco does have, but it's not open to everybody yet. You got to talk to Taco if you want, and I won't pass the link. He has, I guess, out in the cloud somewhere, he has a spreadsheet started with zinc loads.
Yeah, he wanted people to turn in their data on their pet stuff.
Right. So James Pollard has some stuff on it. If you guys have stuff on it, it's not a lot out there, but there's stuff on it. And I told him, I said, I have to sit down. Because I don't have a chrono, so I can only go by what Quick Load says it's going to give you a velocity. I says, and I'm using an oddball powder for some of it. Okay, which I still want to give you the information on, the Doug Winchester powder. I says, but I have loads with regular powders that I can put up, but don't know the actual velocities.
Yeah. Oh, Jag, you were asking about the PS90. No, that's not the one he wants. At first, it was a little Ruger, and then now he's looking at the PSA. So
I have to sit down because I don't have my stuff like in a spreadsheet. I have to sit down and do a couple of lines at a time and I'm trying to figure out that the line above, I can make notes about what's below, just the powder and what my information I have on that oddball powder, and then I can go over the loads with other powders. It's a spreadsheet, so you can put in whatever you want. You can just type in notes or whatever. So I'm trying to just sit back and think about doing it once, not have to go back and do it 3 times till I get it the way I want. But it works. That's going to be a nice spreadsheet. I just wish Taco didn't put really anything in there, and he's made a bunch of loads. So, again, everything takes time. You only have so much time in a day. Unfortunately, I'm like Taco, and most of the world, I work. So, when I get home from work, I want to relax, sit down with the wife for an hour or so, and then it's my time, and it's already 5:30. So,
Here's a funny story for Jag on the PS90. We had an FN day where everything on FN was on sale, and we got swamped. I hated that day. And you could go, we had a PS90 they can try. You can go into, walk across and go into the range and shoot it. And then a lot of people, boom, put their pre-order in. And this is when they first came out. As a matter of fact, they found out you could put a paper clip in that thing and it'd go full auto, just sticking a paper clip in a spot. And so they changed that. But anyway, we had a bunch of pre-orders. Luckily, I wasn't handling that because the guy I was working with had his own PS90, and that's what they were using. And for demo day or whatever. Anyway, he got so hammered with people. Where is it? Where is it? It's not here yet, because, they weren't totally in production mode. And I want to cancel my order. Oh, he went through hell because of that. Anyway, I'm glad I didn't have to deal with that. But yeah, the very first ones, there was a paperclip trick on those, and they changed that pronto. They wanted all the guns back, including his. But nope. Too bad, so sad. All right. Yeah, they're funky. They're fun. They're fun, but yeah, they're funky. I'm not a real bullpup guy. To me, they're a little awkward, and you got the action right here. I have one bullpup. That's it. 5.56. Son has a PS90. Yeah, they're kind of space gun looking. But what's interesting with my son, what interests my son is something this big with a little flip out brace. You know what I mean? Yeah. Kids, they like that stuff. I do too.
Full Taco just put up a video. Hornady Primer Pocket Swaging Kit for lock and load.
Yeah, he's trying to do one every day.
7 for 7.
Yeah, he's trying to do one every day.
I enjoy his videos. Like, I enjoy watching Kenny's videos too. I mean, I sit there and I listen, and just the knowledge that he has and the knowledge Taco has. I sit back and I'm like, I don't always comment or anything, but I watch most of the videos I've seen.
Yeah, Kenny just did a video on the 25, whatchamacallit. There's new caliber every week, but he likes that one, so he just did a video on that.
Yeah, I saw that one. I started watching that today, but I got sidetracked. I got to go back to it.
Mm-hmm. Much rather have a Beretta. What Beretta? Not the 9mm. Does Beretta have a 5.7? I don't know. We broke a range Beretta 9mm, and they wouldn't fix it, bastards. But it was well used and cleaned once a week, so there you go. Those are pretty comfy. They even made a stock like that for the High Point carbine, which made it pretty neat. So yeah, I might try just casting a few zincs with the little dipper and see what happens. But I don't want to get them mixed up. They're definitely going in a certain part of the yard.
Just make sure you're using a steel mold. That's all.
Oh yeah,
And get it, the mold, get it hot. You got to. I mean, good half hour. I put my hot plate on. I go full and I back it off at like a hair, just so it's not full. And I leave it on. It's on 45 minutes, sitting on that hot plate. All right. Once the zinc is ready to pour, my zinc is hot. I'm at like 870 degrees. Okay. Then before I start the pour, I take a handheld torch. When I pick the mold up, I hit the sprue plate for a little while, get it nice and hot. If you make your first sprue open up easy, the mold like stabilizes temperature quicker and it stays easy to open. The sprue gets cold, they're a bitch to open.
Yeah, that's all I worry about. Is just
I mean, you'll get it open. You just got to hit it hard enough. But
yeah, messing up the sprue and stuff like that. It'll probably be a 44 Magnum bullet that's heavy and it's going to come out way light. And then I'll put it in a Russian round.
I would suggest you try a smaller diameter bullet just to practice the casting, get used to it before you do a big bullet because they're harder to cut open.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. More material to slice. Yeah.
What I see, and I can't get a good shot of it on camera, you pour it, you watch the sprue. It's going to turn color twice. The moment you see it go, the first time it kind of like looks a little funky, and all of a sudden it gets like crated, and it gets dull looking. That's when I hit it to open, so you don't smear it on the top of the mold.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. I think I have a gas check 38 I could do because it's gas check. So I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to sacrifice a good mold to start with.
Well, only pour one cavity. Pour the cavity closest to the handle so it's easier to open.
Yeah.
Pour one cavity. Just see what it's doing.
I think I have a single cav and something like that too. It has the gas check cut.
Because it's a little harder to pour from a scoop. Okay, you kind of like, I have one of the Lymans with the hole on the side, and you kind of like tip that into the right onto the sprue in the hole, and I kind of like tap it up and down as it's pouring. Okay, and I get the best results when I did the ladle pours with flatter bases.
Do you guys have problems shooting zinc and then lead and then copper on top of each other? Is there any issues doing that?
Well, I was going to call CW and ask him if he looked down his barrel when he got home, because he would be surprised. It's going to look like brand new. To me, some people used to shoot, they lead bullets, and at the end shoot 2 or 3 jacketed bullets that help clean the lead out. Okay, things like that. You get copper fouling. I'm assuming you will get eventually some zinc fouling, but zinc is a lubricant. Okay, and every time I shoot my gun, if I shot, because I have a lot of lead stuff loaded, so I'll shoot that first, and then I'll finish off with shooting zinc. When I take the gun home and I look down the barrel, it's almost, other than powder residue, the barrel's spotless. Okay, even when I sent the Ruger, you remember the pictures from the Ruger when I put it that was not just a quick patch, a wet patch just to take the powder fouling out. That's all that was. I didn't put brushes down or anything. And I can't tell you how many rounds are through that barrel when you look down it. That's the zinc. I have no issues.
Okay. Boost Bullet says he gets weird chrono numbers, but that's all you get. That's it.
Well, I don't. He's saying he sizes the same as lead. I don't. I used to.
You size like copper?
Yep. If it's supposed to be 224, like for a 556, 223 the copper bullet's 224. Your zinc is harder. I had no accuracy change when I went to smaller.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be like jacketed. Vanessa Kitty's back. Hey, Vanessa. We had Uncle Jim 2 guy try to get on here a minute ago, but I didn't click it in case he's lurking.
Booze and Bullet says he sizes the same as lead, and James Bullet agreed. Okay, that's how I did it. I don't do it that way anymore.
Right when I said that, another person tried to get on here.
All I can tell you is, Booze, I have the, what do they call it, cabin tree hardness tester, and the lowest I ever got was 38, and the highest I ever got was 44. So, okay, we're not casting straight zinc. You got to remember that. There's other stuff mixed in with it, so it's going to change depending on what wheel weights you have and what mixes in it is going to determine your hardness. But it's definitely, basically, even Kenny, I think, throws it out. It's like 40 to 42 BHN in general. Again, it's no reason to size it that too big because it gets harder to get. You're forcing it down the barrel too much.
Okay, this is Ruzio the Vampire, but his name is different on here. Authenticated with YouTube. Interesting. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go. We need a Scotsman's rant right now. Okay.
Okay, I guess that didn't happen.
Yep. Hey, bud. Yeah. So, as far as Julio, it's been a day or two. Julio was doing better last time I talked to him, but now, and I think, but now Twisted Twines has some respiratory problems. So everyone give best wishes to Twisted Twines, Ozark's wife, of course. I just found that out. And then Timothy hopefully is doing better. So
yeah, he was on last week, right? So
yep. And he has a new lever also. Yep. 45 Colt.
Yeah, I've been seeing Julio is feeling better because he's watching videos and responding.
Yeah, he just has to go through therapy and a bunch of hell. Still kind of tough driving and stuff like that. So hopefully he recovers. It's probably going to take a while. It's a drag getting old, people.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky. I just got a messed up hip that won't go away. But other than that, I can hobble around. I can deal with hobbling.
I get pains in places I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
My elbows are my biggest problem right now because if it's on rotator cuffs, the muscles down there are working harder.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my hip, but I thought I pulled the groin, but I guess not. It doesn't last for 3 months like that. So, I don't know. If I have to put a roller skate on one leg, I'll do it. Okay, so what else we talk about here? Yeah, I have to go through a bunch of stuff and pull some bullets. Just crap you don't trust. You don't know who loaded it.
I never take any. If I pick up bullets at the range, I have no idea. They have a bucket they throw once, stuff that didn't go off.
Yeah.
And it's like I look and I says, I don't believe these people throw these things out. Okay. I said, but I don't know if they're reloads or new. So
Yeah.
if I see like 30-06s in there, I'll pull them out. I take them home, take them apart. That's all. But I don't really need any more brass right now. I'm kind of set. So the range is going to be relieved that I'm not taking any more brass. Because I used to bring ammo cans when I went, and I would scoop out all the 223 brass, but I took it home, and that's when I was making the 300 blackout. So I was looking for only LC head stamps. So I would separate them, take them out, right? Then I would put the rest back in the cans, and when I came back next time, I dumped them in the bucket. So it's not like I took all their brass. I said, okay, so if I got 50 pieces of brass out of one can, that was a lot, So it's not like I'm hogging it all. But I got tons of that now, so I have no reason to take anything. And I will not pick up 300 blackout brass, once fired stuff. Everyone that I've ever picked up, the brass is short.
Yeah. Notice that in the gauge we're measuring it. Yeah.
Yeah. I go, what the hell, man? It's like, why are these so short?
Yeah, I noticed that too, and that's why I just make it out of LC, keep them all the same. Well, I do have some Winchester, but I keep them all the same batch, and LC works great.
I have another brand. I gotta look. I wrote it down. There's PSC, P Sam Charlie.
PSC.
I'm trying to think PSG. There's a head stamp that starts with a P that I was getting a lot of. So I took a couple of them and I went through the process and trimmed them down and sized, swaged them down, etc. Cleaned them all up, trimmed them the whole 9 yards, and then I took measurements and they were like right there. So I have some of those too. I don't remember what it was. But again,
was it PCC or something? I know what you're talking about.
Not PCC. No, it was 3 different letters. I have it written down on the plastic container I threw them in because what I did is I loaded a dozen of them and I went to the range. I shaved it all fine in a rifle. I went to the range with it and the AR and the bolt, and they all shot fine. I said, okay, that's another brass I can use. But it measured like 11.5, something like that. I forget the number, 11.6. So it was fine.
Let's see. AR Patriot is here, and Edward Petty. Hey guys. Yeah, when I did the video on inside neck turning, what I failed to mention, which I always do in videos, was when you outside turn, you have much more choices on how much you remove. Inside turn, boom, that's what you get.
Yeah, it's a reamer.
And that's on a fired case. And then when you outside turn, that's on a size case.
Right.
And you can control your depth, of course, with the turner. And sometimes it only needs like a little skitch, and it makes it look funny because there's a skitch on one side of the neck,
Right.
But that trued it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was your high spot.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want them all to like expand in the chamber evenly, you kind of go down and make them all the same like that. But the inside turner is so much faster. I was like, okay, this time I cleaned some brass. I'm just going to inside ring, make sure they're all decent,
Yeah.
and you won't have a problem with being tight in the chamber on the neck there.
Yeah. I had no issues with the. I had no LC brass that didn't chamber, and I didn't trim anything. They just.
I had one or two stinkers after crimping, but I think the bullets were 310. And I had one or two, I think it was in the Ruger bolt action, just where you could feel it, on the bolt, you can feel it. And it was like, oh, that one's a little touchy. Yeah. They go bang, but yeah.
Well, I think if you're working on brass that's a little tight and you manage to chamber it and you fired it maybe 2 or 3 times, and once you've done that, I think the brass thinned itself out.
Oh, thank you, boy.
It's got to expand and go somewhere when you pull the trigger. So
Yeah,
it winds up making the neck longer, and then eventually it's trimmed off. But I only had a couple in all the 300 blackouts that I loaded. That when I closed the bolt, it's like okay, but it's not like I had to force it closed, but you could feel the difference. And it's that maybe the bolt was a little long, maybe maybe it wasn't a good enough the casting. The O drive may have been a little bigger. The mold wasn't totally closed. Something stupid, But as long as I didn't have to force it closed, I wouldn't force anything. But I the LC brass, I probably made about 3,000 pieces of brass. So actually, I have to say more than that because I have 3,000 loads and I have more containers.
Yeah, it's just easier to have all the same brass. Now, of course, they have different years on them.
I didn't have trouble with that. I didn't even look at that. I just LC in the bin. LC in the bin.
So, and they always shoot good. And some of it might be the military standards on, how they have factory reject all the time, whether it's over stupid stuff. Maybe their brass is more consistent than others. Winchester works good, but it's kind of thinner,
Yeah, I measured Winchesters; they were thin, so I chose not to use them.
Seems like all Winchester's thinner, don't you think? Like 44.
I don't measure most of my brass. I mean, I got a 3006 piece of brass. I size it; it fits in my gun. That's all I care about. Okay, do I notice it sometimes when I'm seating a bullet that one might feel a little tighter going in? Yeah. Okay. But it doesn't seem to be affecting anything. I'm not shooting 1,000-yard targets that I'm going to see the difference. Like I said, if it's tight, the brass has to go somewhere when you pull the trigger. So to me, it's going out the front, and it's like when sometimes you got to. I'm doing light loads most of the time on my 3006. Okay, let's say 11 grains of bullseye. It's not bullseye, but 11 grains of bullseye. That kind of thing. It's whatever it is, 1,400 feet per second. Whatever. It's pretty slow stuff. And I started with all the cases of trimmed and whatnot. I'll shoot 20 of them, and 2 cases grew a lot more. The other ones didn't grow at all. Because it's such a low charge. It's not totally expanding. And even when I go to size them and I measure them before I size it, I sized them originally to 0. The point didn't have to 0.1. It's nothing. I'm not getting any growth because I'm not putting any hot charge behind it. So I'm not working the brass as much. Therefore, the brass is going to last twice as long.
Yeah, blackout doesn't. Especially subs, they don't move.
Yeah, that's so that's the fun part of, to me, with the zinc, being able to shoot a 3006 all day long. Now, it ain't the power of a 3006, but I'm shooting it all day long, and it's accurate. I mean, that's like the A lot of the books had that load, like 160 to 180 grain bullet between 11 and 12 grains of unique, right? And you just find the node in that thing, and you're good to go.
Hmm.
And you can shoot it all day long, and the brass doesn't expand much, and all stuff. So your brass life is longer.
Hmm.
The recoil, well, now even with the zinc now, when I first started playing with the 30-06, I was shooting the same bullet in lead. And when I switched to zinc, the recoil was tremendously less with the same powder load. So
Shoot, the cat's after my food. Hang on. I got to hide it in the oven until he gets out of here. Cat.
how you doing out there, AR? I missed you Thursday night. I went on and I didn't see a listing that you were going on, so I went and did some other stuff.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
I check, like you tonight. I didn't see you till almost 6:45. 20 to 7, something like that. I mean, 20 to 8. Oh, he is going live. Okay.
Cat, don't even. Now I got to guard all my stuff. He's going to get. Anyway. Well, there he is right here.
There he is. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, I heard you say that, so I thought I'd just jump in the link. Oh man, me and Mac did that. It was a dumpster fire, as Echo used to say.
What?
Thursday
Oh,
night.
I didn't watch the replay yet.
It was just dead. They had another stream on another channel I won't get into, and they were already all over there, so I only had, I think, 8 people, something like that.
It doesn't matter. The idea is for the 8 people that you had on, and you and Mac having a good time, good discussions, and that's it. So
yeah, we didn't talk about a few things here and there, and
you have nights. We have nights. We have nights that we don't have till 2:00 in the morning. He doesn't have more than 20 people on. So
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I don't do it for numbers anyway. It was just unusually low for me and Mac, But it's hard to. It's got so busy on Thursday night. I'm not even. I called it quits. I put for Thursday night. I'm not going to be streaming anymore. I'm going to go either Wednesday night or Monday night or Friday night. I kind of want to. I don't want to do either one because I can't get Mac on at 8. So. And I like to have Mac on. He kind of helps me co-host.
Yeah, but the Thursday night thing, we had a few of them. They were good, so you had one off.
Yeah, but right now you got High Boy streaming Thursday nights, and you got Chris 740 streaming Thursday night, and all his people are half of them are
yeah. Well, High Boy's stream is not really gun loading anymore.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because he said, that's it. I'm tired of dealing with YouTube. He's putting anything on Rumble. They were talking about, oh God, I only popped in because it's like, I forgot what they were. Oh, they were talking about how he beat cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I watched that.
And, that's what he was talking about that night. So again, if people are just hanging out and listening, whatever they were doing, okay, it's like, if you went onto his channel first and then someone else popped a live stream up, would you stay with who you started with, or would you switch on it? It depends.
Yeah, he had already started too. So then me and Matt got in there. It was we had a garage guy stop by. Who else? Tread, he stopped in. A few others. I forget now. It was a few.
But it's part of the reason so many times I said I want to start doing a live stream, and I'm like, I don't care what night I pick. There's always somebody doing something. So it's like,
Boy, it's getting crowded, Andy, these days. I mean, when we started out, it was just High Boy, Uncle Jim, Georgia, Scotsman, and that's about all I remember. And now it's.
Well, that's it, everybody. I mean, Chris from the 740, he puts on great stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, but again, he's like a, I don't know if I don't. He's a kind of almost a sponsored channel. I mean, I'm sure he's getting all the money from YouTube and
Mm-hmm.
people sending him product. He got into that, so that's what he does. Okay, you know, and High Boy really never was that way. Right?
No.
He just like he's just blown away that they gave him a channel strike because he give a free bullet giveaway from Accurate Bullets. I mean,
I heard
give me a
about that.
break.
Yeah, that's crazy, insane.
All he did was he gave away a box of 500 from Acura. Gave him 500 bullets to give away of the person's choice, and he did his thing with the dice or whatever, and they striked him.
That's ridiculous. And, everybody casting can't even do a video because if you look at a piece of lead, it's going to kill the lefties. They can't handle it. Piece of lead, it's dangerous. Makes me sick. But I'll shut up. I'll digress.
Just don't do a holler pointer video.
Hey, when I do lives, when I'm loading, I'm doing dummy rounds. Everybody knows that, that knows me. So.
Now, people are loading live rounds. Dummy, what he does it all the time. He does it all the time.
For the algorithm, I actually use the word dummy round a lot when I'm streaming. You
I
probably
think
noticed
it's
that.
just you can't show the whole thing.
Well, he doesn't tell you per se what powder's going in, okay? But he's full loading bullets from A to Z. I'm loading 223 tonight, and there it is.
Who's doing that?
Dummy round.
Okay, yeah. I hadn't watched him in a while. Yeah.
Okay, he's I mean, they're all doing something. Okay, a lot of people showing reloading. They don't say,
yeah,
I use this powder. I use this much weight. I seeded the bullet to this depth. They don't. I'm just loading, and they doing it.
That's the best way to do it. Really, don't get into it.
So I've always. I mean, I never had a large channel as far as a ton of videos. Anything to do with zinc and castings over on Rumble. So, my channel is probably 30 videos short on YouTube. And I'm not a crazy content creator. If I think I got something of interest, I'll make a video.
I went back to that shop. I got lead member Uncle Jim and Andy a year or so ago. I can't remember now. I was paying him $1 a pound, but then he threw a bunch of steel in. Well, he's gone. I went back there right before Christmas, and I spoke with a guy, and another guy's there now. He can't speak English that well. I said, I'll come in here. I'll get you a bucket. And he did have a lot of lead. And I said, I'll give you 50 cents a pound. I'll go out there. You don't worry about it. I'll separate it. I'll weigh it. I'll show it to you, and I'll give you the money for lunch or whatever. You'll have spending money. He goes, okay. So I got it for 50 cents a pound. Wheel weights.
Well, that's good because you sorted it so you got your lead.
Mm-hmm.
In the place I go to, grab and go, 30 cents a pound. But
wow,
I can return what I don't want. And he weighs it and gives me the same 30 cents a pound back.
Wow.
Credit-wise. So that's what I have with him. Okay, but I'm taking all the lead and zinc. So most of the time he's only left with steel and that plastic stuff.
I told that guy I wanted to do it myself because last year when I let that guy do it, he sat out there at my truck and started throwing plastic weights in, steel weights in, and I was sitting there having to pull them out. When I got home, I had maybe 5 pounds of steel weights, maybe 7. So I got rid of that, and I wound up with 9 pounds of lead, which is not 9 pounds of lead because it's got the wheel weight metal on it. So I separated. I still got that steel weights out there in the garage in a bucket to haul off and dump.
Yeah. But if you have a scrap yard, they'll give you money for the steel.
Yeah.
Maybe
good.
pennies, but
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I can't wait. I want to get the pot, for it, and get maybe a 9mm mold to start out, and do 9mm. So I'm gonna get in. I'm just not gonna go down the rabbit hole bad because I did on this reloading. I don't.
Well, you don't have to. I mean, the simplest thing is the Lee 420.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay, the simple pot, the Lee 420. All right, they're $100 now. But the Lee 420, all right, is all you need for a casting pot. If you got a turkey fryer, all you need is a cast iron pot to sit on top of it to melt it down, and a ladle, a soup ladle for $1 from a dollar store, and a spoon with holes in it from the dollar store to scoop out the junk. Okay, and then you pour in ingots. It's that quick.
I'm looking forward to it because I think it's cool to make your own bullets like that.
Especially if you're going to shoot enough. Okay, like you're saying, 9mm. If you're going to shoot enough of that, and you start casting, that's when you save the money. If you only shoot 50 rounds when you go, or the box is $12 or something, whatever is $15 plus to buy versus your time. But if you sit down with a 6-cavity mold, making 9mm, okay, you'd be surprised how many you can cast in an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's a 2, believe me, I'm doing zinc, so I can't use 6-cavity mold. I have a 4-cavity mold. I can't open it when I do zinc. So I got 2 cavities. 3-cavity I can do depending on the size of the diameter of the bullet. Right. 2 cavities the way to go for zinc. And once you get a rhythm going and the zinc is, you're pouring good. I mean, usually it sounds weird, but my first pour with zinc is a good bullet. Very rarely in my first pour do I get a bad, because I'm heating everything up tremendously. I'd rather have the mold have to cool down than for it to heat up to work right. Well, zinc isn't going to wrinkle with too much heat and stuff like that. It's not going to give you a problem. Okay. It just takes longer for it to get solid. Okay. And waiting for the sprue to open the sprue up. But lead is different. Lead is, it's so easy to open the molds. It's the 6-cavity mold opens with no effort. I mean, I was doing the truncated cones, the Lee mold, the 6-cavity, the round nose, and the truncated cones. I probably easily do 300-400 bullets an hour.
Wow.
Casting with lead once you get the rhythm going. Okay. But then you got to remember all the other work involved with it. Now you got to size. Now you got to powder coat them, and then you got to size them. So there's many steps to it. Where that's why the zinc, I'm like cast, size, load, shoot.
Do you when after they're powder coated, do you run it through the sizer?
Yeah, you don't size them till you powder coat.
Well, I'm gonna have to when I start getting the stuff, I'm gonna have to get with you and Uncle Jim and Walter. And,
it's really in the powder coating. I mean, people play with all these crazy colors. You go and get Ford light blue, and it's gonna coat. Okay, and when you get that down pat, and you want to play with different colors, then you ask. I'm looking for something like this. Powder coat's cheap, so if you buy one that doesn't work, then you lost the money. But you start off with a powder coat that's a known good powder, and you shake and bake it. Okay, rattle a little bit in the strainer, stand them up or pour them in, however you want to do it. I stand them up. That's my preference. All right, 20 minutes later, they're baked right from the oven into cold water. Let them sit for 10 minutes, take them out, put them in a towel, dry them off. Okay, let them sit, by the time you got all that stuff, you go over, set up your press to size, and you're done. And you really should, if you don't have it, buy an APP, the Lee APP press, and size on there, because again, the price of the press has gone up because they've made a deluxe version. I don't even get the older version. The deluxe version you can prime on now and stuff, but you can get even if you're not using a bullet feed, if you're manually putting the bullet in, you're dropping it in a hole. It just falls right in. Pull the handle down, and it's down the bottom. It's not popping out at the top. Hey, Uncle Jim knows you got the drawer set up.
What is the AP, Andy? Is it $100 or plus or?
The new one I think is 159 now because it's
Okay.
deluxe. They had an APP, then they had the APP deluxe. Now they have the deluxe APP, and they come with different things. The newest version has the priming system on it. You no longer can buy an ACP press for priming unless somebody still got stock on it. They don't produce it anymore. Now it's one press. You can deprime all you can 9mm any pistol caliber depriming is super fast. Even if you're feeding it one at a time by hand, okay? Because you're using both. It's just easy. You're not trying to fit it in a shell holder. You drop it in the jaws, you pull the handle down, and it's deprimed. Put it up, drop a shell in, pull it down, and you're done. It's real quick and easy.
Booze and bullets did not expose me margarita night. Oh, God. Can I say a few things, Uncle Jim?
Yeah.
Good to see you, garage guy. Thank you for being there the other night. Good to see you, Scotsman, and Booze and Bullets. And hey, now I should have put it in another container. I haven't had tequila in probably 23 years.
I love it.
Below the 62 says Midway still has the other APP for $99.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy a thing at a time. Maybe the pot, and then get that press. And,
Yeah, if you're only going to do a couple sizers, just buy their kit and do it on your press regular. But if you do a lot, then drop them in the APP. It's much more pleasant. Well, I like upside down. It's nice. You just, like he said, you chuck it in, it funnels in, boom.
Yeah, the sizing die is on the base, not up top. So you're pushing it down, not pushing it up. And the contour of the die is countersunk. Let's call it that. So it goes right in. You're dropping it nose down. It goes right in.
And you can use the old sizers, which I do if I need a certain size, because I ream some of those out. So I'll put the old sizers on the APP also.
This is actually lemonade.
Oh, I love tequila and I love vodka. Well,
I used to drink a lot of vodka one time.
You used to love it.
Yeah.
I remember you and Willie's days of drinking.
No, Willie wasn't much of a drinker. But
No, I remember. Yeah.
the other guys,
When everybody went to your house, I was watching a little bit of that years ago when Willie and everybody, West Covina, they all come and stay with you. I still remember watching that.
Pat,
You may want to take a second thought on that if you're going to get the APP. Reload 766 has the deluxe APP for $99.
Where is it at now?
Midway.
Okay, I'll go over and look. Yeah.
You may not want to pass that up because if they're getting rid of them, making way for the newest, that's a good price.
Yeah, I definitely want to do it.
Mrs. Tin Man is here. Hey, Mrs. Tin Man.
And the APP for depriming pistol caliber, if you buy the tubes, when you buy the APP, it comes with one tube or something, so you can fill a tube at a time. But it's just clink, 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 clink. I mean, it's so quick at the priming, it's crazy. So that's especially if you start picking up range brass to collect for your own stash and you're processing it, it goes much quicker. I'm only watching for the cat.
Yeah, Mrs. Tin Man, I almost did a. You like to see some Uncle Jim moves? I almost did some of that in a video, but I decided not to. Yeah, cat.
I won't repeat what West Covina said.
We still might though. Let's see. Probably got 110 millimeter today. Gobbling breath. All right. Check them for. Well, it depends on your barrel. HIPAA is here. Hey, HIPAA.
Hey, man.
Yeah, 10 millimeter range brass. In the long side Glock, I have the aftermarket barrel, and it's best to when you size them range brass. Put them in the gauge before you even put a primer in it. And if it's good to go, I know it's going to go in that super tight chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure I like the idea of bulge busting.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's one time, it's not bad.
I ran into a good less than 5-inch Ruger Vaquero the other day, stainless steel, boy, 45 coat, long coat. I wanted that gun, I still do. Had good action, loose, more loose than the factory, so somebody may have had it tuned up a little bit. But they want $8.99 for it. And then down the street, they got another one, same thing, for $9.99, almost $1,000. So have it.
Short one, like what are they? 4.5, 5-inch?
Yeah, it's less than 4 5/8 or something like that.
Yeah. We have one in. My son has one in 357. We like that.
Mm-hmm. I love single actions, man. I just love them. Growing up, the way I did with Gunsmoke and all that as a kid, I still look at them. They're so cool. Plus, I got to get me a cowboy holster, and I hear that they're fairly expensive. Get that, but I kind of like to have that 5.5-inch barrel that Ruger's got. But you don't see many of those out there for sale in the stores. My dog's barking.
There's a couple of guys on here that make holsters and rigs, so you could probably get a better deal for one of the guys.
Yeah, I think Mark Thomas does.
Yeah, Mark
talk to
Thomas.
him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not going. If I can spend $1,000 on that gun, I can get into casting. So I'm going to wait. But I would like to have it because good guns like that don't come along that often. Not used around here. I don't like a stiff trigger on single action. It's just not fun to shoot.
Oh, this one has a good trigger. It was brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have the neighbor make a cowboy rig for that one, I guess.
So the one you got is less than 5 inches, 4 plus something.
I want to say the barrel's about like that. I can go measure it real quick. I forgot what it was. Four and something. I think it's under 5. I don't know. It's a short, handy. It's not like short. I think it's a standard Vaquero.
They're nice.
Be right back.
I'd love to have one.
Polished with the white ivory fake grips.
This one had wood, but it also had kind of a indentation and sanded where your thumb kind of would have an indentation there on it. I thought that was unusual. Beautiful wood on it too, laminated. Polish, perfect, not a scratch on it. Different than what you usually see on a single action. Just very upscale that wood was. I was surprised. It was nice.
What is Relish saying here? We stripped all the extras off the APP. I just wanted a spent primer tube setup.
Good to see you, Rollis. Yeah, I'll get the APP and then the pot and a few other things.
I like it for sizing now and brass prep. You could size decap to everything once you set up, with the funnel. What do you call it? Not funnelator. Oh, gosh, I can't think of nothing today.
Collator?
Correlator.
Is that it?
Yeah, correlator. Best invention ever. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually deprime on the Forester, but it's kind of slow. I have to take that big old arm, go bam, bam.
Yeah, this is just assembly line as long as one doesn't spit out.
Right.
And that's really nice. And then when I do double-ended wad cutters, I just put the bullets in the collator. It gets heavy and it gets a little wobbly, but I can just size bullets like this.
Wow.
Yeah, but you can only do that with the double-ended wad cutter. Otherwise, you're going to have some weirdness going on because of bullet shapes. But yeah, that's the fastest thing to size. That's why I like the wad cutters. The levers love them. The guns love them. I can size them quick. They powder coat so nice, whether it's in the whichever way you want to do it. They're nice.
Yeah, I've seen a few of you all's videos with them, even when they first started releasing them. Watched quite a few channels. Occasionally.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have. Now they have 3D printed things where it makes it easier to set up, instead of adjusting. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. I can take 5 minutes to adjust it, and then it'll save me half hour using it.
Wow.
So
Hmm.
Andy likes using the swager on it and the primer, I think, too.
I have the ACP, so I prime on that. But I bought the upgrade parts to make the APP prime, and it's finicky like the other, just like the ACP was. So there was no real big difference. But I like the APP.
Mhm.
I pretty much deprime all my pistol calibers on it, which is not much. 38, 357, 9mm. 300 blackout works pretty good on it. 223 is a little. I've crushed a few necks doing them, so I'm not as happy with that. But 3006, I've done them all. I've done 3006, depriming 3006s. I've sized 223, but I don't trust it because it's not holding the shell. It's only two sides. The shell hole is only holding like 50% of the shell.
And you're not holding it down for a sec. You're doing this.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Pistol brass, not a big deal.
I mean, the longest pistol I have stuff is 357, and I have the carbide die, so it does it 1, 2, 3, and I lube it anyway. And same with the 38, the same 9mm. Again, I have the 9mm. I have what's that die? All steel die. I can't think of the company.
All steel die.
Yeah, it's an all steel die. The high boy was pushing them when the guy came on, and I can't think of the name.
Oh, Mighty Armory?
Yeah, Mighty Armory.
Yeah.
I have their decapping die, which works great.
Yeah, I got one.
And I have the 9mm sizing die, and I have the 223 sizing die. And they work great. It's all steel die.
Mm-hmm.
I stuck a 223 case in their die, but it was one of the fifth or sixth one that went through it. And he says, yeah, he says, you got to lube them a little more in the beginning. Once you get a couple hundred through the die, it smooths out, and you still got to lube it, but they're really exact sizing dies. I mean, they're good that way. But 9mm, no issue, but you got to lube them.
Mm-hmm. I got one of their 9, cost me $100, 100 something on sale, 118, I think. I got one up there 9mm. And, I actually talked with him one day when he helped me set it up on my press. Wayne did.
Yeah. I use mostly the 9mm, and I'm using the carbide die. It's just quicker.
Scotsman, come on now. They're on my list right now because of that thing, but I don't know. We're gonna have fun with that for a while.
You don't know that somebody didn't send that back to Midway, say I bought the wrong one.
Well, that's what I initially thought, but it was never used. You can tell when a turret.
I don't know. But it could have been somebody's basement that had happened to them, and he ordered a new one and put,
Yeah, maybe someone had it sitting in something and something went bad. But, here's the funny thing, and I'll do it on the part 3 video because I'm going to milk this for all it's worth for Lee. The funny thing is Lee sells, what do you call it? Defect. They sell, what do you call it when a lower has a nick on it? God, I can't think of nothing.
Blemish.
They sell blemish turrets. I just saw it on their website. But here's the funny and I'm like, aha, that's where all the blemish ones go. Midway stuck with them, and they have to resell them. here's the funny thing. They're both the same price.
Yeah.
So right now, Lee says they have $1 off on the turrets, and I have the blemished saved just for a next video, and it's the same price. So it's like, where's the deal? Yeah, it should be $5, and then I'll buy those blemished all day long for $5. Yeah,
I still want to get a Lee turret. I almost did a few months ago during Black Friday.
Oh no, it looks like this page has gone away. No.
What?
I just had it saved. It says this page has gone away, but they had like 4 left, so maybe they sold out. Why would someone buy a blem for the same price though?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't.
Well, the same price on Lee's website?
No, on Midway.
Oh.
So it looks like they sold out of them, but they'll be back, according to what I got. I wonder what they should call those. Factory corroded. Darn it! I can't use it for the video now. It's not on their website. Shoot, took it down. That was just yesterday. I was going to put it on today's video, but I was too busy. I was going to go out there and clean it up, but I don't know. Still debating. A real easy way to clean that is as long as you don't have coated aluminum, stuff like that, just like raw aluminum, like an engine or whatever on an old motorcycle. What works really good is Napa's, they call it Aluma Cleaner, aluminum bright. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's, you're not going to get it. It could take forever to get down in all the crevices.
No. It's an acid. You spray it, you get it off right away. I think they only, say 3 minutes at the max or something. Mm-hmm. And it cleans wheels and stuff really good, as long as they're not coated with clear or anything.
Yeah.
And I saw some videos on that, and I went around the garage looking for phosphoric acid. I think that's what it is. And I couldn't find any damn acid in the garage that was that kind of acid. Otherwise, I would have done that video today, but I think I might soda blast it.
I think I've got a gallon of that Luma Bright here somewhere.
Well, soda blasting's got to clean it up. It's just going to have that soda blast look. That's all.
No, it'll clean it up good. Yeah. If I
have
can get
aluminum intake. I'd like to get it aluminum powder coated.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think some guy wanted here locally $175, but I wasn't too sure. I'm gonna put that aluminum in acid or cleaner, and I thought, got to be careful because once you acid aluminum too much, it'll just keep corroding sometimes. If you leave it on too long.
Most powder coat shops they'll bead blast that.
I asked him that, and he didn't do that. One did tell me that. Yeah.
I mean, I got a friend that has a powder coat company, and you get stuff. The only thing they do is they'll put it in like I don't want to say denatured alcohol. I don't know exactly. It's probably alcohol based to remove oils. Then they'll bead blast it.
I'll call them back. Yeah, because I thought about painting it with the Eastwood silver. But
they have that Eastwood paint works good. I did my '67 Mustang that I restored when the motor had to come apart because the guy built it wrong, and I took the stuff home. I actually just cleaned the manifold. Was an aluminum manifold to start with. It wasn't like totally dirty. I got like a big tub, and I filled it up with. Started with kerosene, which took off most of the stuff. Okay, then I blew it off with an air hose. All right, then I brought home acetone, and I was spray misting it with the acetone. Hanging it up and let all the stuff drip down. Okay, then I blew it off again. All right, and then I brought it to the powder coat store, and I said I want to, bead blast this, and he says, why? I'll just powder coat it for you. I says, no, I don't want to powder coat it. He says, oh, you do what you want. And he has real super fine bead blast stuff that they use, and it cleaned all the crevices, and then I painted it and with the Eastwood paint, and I had the car for 2 years before I sold it, so for 2 years it held up fine that I know of. So,
Do you remember what color? I mean, I know it's silver, but do you know what kind of can or what?
it was a rattle can. It was nothing special.
Was
I
it?
mean, I don't know if I got any left downstairs. It's 4 manifolds. It's specifically they sell. You know, you go on Eastwood and look around. You know, aluminum manifold paint.
I've got the silver here that says for exhaust, man, and I did the heat shields, and it looks beautiful silver, 1400 degree. God, it's some good looking paint.
You know,
And I was surprised.
Chico Wise is here, and
Hey.
Preacher's Day Off is here. Hey, guys.
how you doing, Chico?
There's a linky down here.
Been a
Boom.
while, Chico.
Yeah, the Eastwood makes some good product as long as you prep the surfaces properly.
Right. My shields are, I have complete factory, not only factory headers, but I have complete full shields on 2 of them on both sides of my manifolds. And they're actually a light gray. So I painted it to silver, at least 2 of them, or 1 of them, I should say. I like it, but it don't look exactly factory. And if I put it in a car show, I want it to be light gray or more of a
Yeah,
gray
well, they
shade.
have that. They have to. The best thing for you to do is get on the phone, talk to these
Yeah.
guys. They know.
That's what
Oh, you okay? I know exactly what you're looking for. Here it is. Here's the part number. Go look it up on the website. You'd be
I'll call
surprised. The guys are great over there.
Yeah, I'll give them a call. Been thinking about it.
I've done a lot of aluminum pull start engines, painted them, and paint is pretty darn good if you prep it right.
Prep is the key.
Prep it, and you can warm it up too a little bit.
I can tell by using this Eastwood, it's some quality stuff. It's not like Krylon or anything. It's good.
It's more expensive too, but it does
Yeah.
what it's supposed to. They have they have the correct colors for underhood restoration for the era car you're working on. They have underhood black, and they have,
I've seen that.
and all the various colors of black shades, more charcoal on some, and more black on others. And, you tell them what you're working on, and they'll give you the list. They're really good. I mean, I can't tell you how much of that paint I've used over the years.
Yeah, I'll give them a call because I need some chassis paint. And I've been thinking about just taking it and painting it with chassis black with a paintbrush and using Eastwood in a quart, buying a quart of it.
Yeah, they sell it in quarts. You got a better finish with the gun, though.
Yeah, I don't know how to use a gun. I can do rattle can.
Well, I'm just saying the rattle can, you'll still get a better finish.
Yeah.
Because they sell the quartz, and you can mix it and put it in a spray gun.
The little mini cup guns are pretty easy. You can get
The little ones that
you can get it cheap on a Harbor Freight or whatever. It's just a big airbrush and super easy to control. You can get in spots. You can turn it down and just hit around a bolt or whatever, and getting The problem with problem with frames is inside all the holes inside the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a lot and again, you don't need a monster compressor to drive it either.
All I've got is a little bitty one. My big large one, what is it, Home Depot or something? It went bad. Or Cobalt.
I mean, it only works if you're only spraying 10 to 15 psi. Newer guns today, so
Yeah.
and you can adjust the size of the fan of paint, and you practice on cardboard. That's all.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my motor down there, drop it off before he actually a few weeks before he gets to it. Then I'm gonna pull my car after he gets my motor. Then I'm pulling my car here for about just 2 or 3 days, paint the chassis, and then get a wrecker to haul it back down there. So that's $200. 100 to go bring it here and 100 to take it back, and that's only a discount because the guy's self-employed here locally. Other places charge it way more. So, when that happens, I'm parking that old 4-wheel drive truck. No, the only time I'll get in that 4-wheel drive truck is if I'm gonna pick up something for the yard, dirt, lumber, stuff like that. Outside of that, I won't be driving it anymore. I am tired of driving without air.
Yeah, but it's wintertime.
Yeah, it'll be summer soon.
Hmm.
I'm hoping he gets it by spring. I told him before Christmas, I hope you get it by spring. I want to ride around with the top off. He says, yeah, I got 3 motors in, so I think he will get it. Hopefully by Memorial Day, I'm thinking. Should be ready. I'm going to go down there and talk to him in a few days. I bought a car cover finally, a really good one, lifetime warranty one. First one I've ever owned. Actually, he's the one that told me to. He said, I don't like it out there. It's the tarps over it. He said, you need to get a car cover and bring it down here. And I said, okay. That was for Christmas. I hadn't been back down there since. But I do have the car cover in there.
Maybe Uncle Jim used the turret. There's going to be a lot of turret jokes.
I'm going to eventually get me a Lee turret and get all those heads like Uncle Jim and set it up per caliber. That way I don't have to sit up and dies all the time.
That's what I like. Let's see, I got 11 turrets now, and I made a rack with extra room, and now it's full. So I gotta extend the rack now for 2 more. Or I save my other rack so I can put that somewhere else, but then I get pictures in the way. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well,
I can't afford these things. Right.
The TerraPress is nice. I used it for a little while. But if you're trying to load any volume, it's too slow.
Yeah, well, if you're still...
UJ goes out and loads 20 rounds, you understand? And he goes out and shoots them. And
yeah, but I do have a Dillon that I do a lot of 38 9mm on, but switching calibers, just like right now. See, I'm that way. I wake up in the morning and I said, I want to load this today. So I don't want to be pulling the Dillon all apart just to load that. But I can just take the turret and go like that, and I'm loading that today.
Yeah, but
that's what I want to do.
You're not sitting down loading 500 rounds, though.
No, I could do that on the Dillon.
But that's my point. If you're going to try to load 500 rounds, you're going to set up the Dillon.
Well, 4 strokes for 1 cartridge versus 1 stroke. Yeah.
You know, you have to. That's why I have one. I have the new version. The newest. Not the cast turret, the new one they have. And I like the press. That's great if you're going to work up loads and you want to do 5 and you want to do 5 of another powder, that's fine. But if you got your load and you want to load 100 rounds to go to the range with, it takes a long time.
I was surprised how good it's size 223.
Oh yeah,
it does. Loaded 223 on the turret. I was wondering, man, it liked it. It was great.
Your turret takes 3006. UJ, does the one you have will it load a 3006?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure because the new one that was one of the things. This can load 3006. A big, long case. So I wasn't sure about the old cast.
I have 30-06 on the Dillon turret. I haven't tried it, but there's plenty of room
on the Dillon.
Huh?
On the lead, there's plenty of room.
Yeah.
The cast is shorter than the newer one.
The only one it doesn't do is 50 cal, and they have one just for that.
Yeah.
And you can, I think you can modify that one.
Echo did rounds on it. Remember the live streams with me and him loading on that turret? 223, 308, I think, one night. He actually checked the run out on it, concentricity, and it was very little on that turret.
Yep.
The press is a great little press. I'm not knocking it, other than if you're trying to sit down tonight to go to the range tomorrow to load 300 rounds, you'll be there all night. That's all.
Yeah.
That's the only drawback to it. Otherwise, it's a great press.
I got the 650 over here, which I like better than the 750.
That's what I'm trying to get at,
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's great for working up ladder loads and stuff because you're set and you're only changing the powder. So it's not important, So you don't mind you're only doing 5. So then you got to change your powder drop or manually drop, whatever you're doing. So, you're going to load up a ladder load of 25 rounds, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and go to the range and test. It's fine. But like I said, if you're gonna, well, I'm gonna go shooting this coming weekend, and I better bring a lot of bullets. You'll be there a long time.
Mhm.
I'm starting to load 10 now, boys.
Oh, okay.
I like 10. That's another one I want. 10 millimeter, 1911, or the polymer. And then I want the 45 single action. Those are two handguns I want in the future.
I was really happy. Other than takedown, I was very happy with that Rock Island. That PSA selling for $3.99,
Wow.
fully loaded 10 millimeter 1911. I'm pretty darn happy with that. The safety's a little big. I don't like a big safety where my thumb is,
Mhm.
But you can't beat that for $400.
Well, I'm gonna bail out, guys. 10
Night.
o'clock, late enough. So thanks for having me on. Had some fun tonight. At least I did.
Good to be
All
here
right,
with you,
Andy.
man.
We'll probably do a short one anyway. I got a lot to do tomorrow, and I'm going to make sure somebody gets to the hospital.
You got to do any plowing tomorrow?
No, snow stopped. Sunny, 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 sunny. So that's good.
Yeah,
In.
I think I got to take apart the transmission on my snowblower. It got a little leak on one side, so one of the bushings is gone or something.
Transmission on a
There's
snow.
from the shaft, the power shaft to the auger. They call that a transmission in there, or differential.
Okay, so it's not a belt type.
No, it's a direct drive to the, but there's a, I don't know if you want to call it transmission or
Mm-hmm.
what, but it's it's only 22 years old. So
What kind of motor on it? Tecumseh or Bridge?
Tecumseh. It's a Toro.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a really nice snowblower. But the little snow we had here this year, I don't know. I don't want to get into a long conversation. The guy I brought 2 years ago, I brought it into the shop. The carburetor was shot, and I said, you know what, this thing has never been really serviced. So I brought it in to go over everything. He puts
8 horse or 5 horse?
9
horse. Okay.
9. It's 26 inch.
Is it a flathead?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, because they did some where their overhead valve.
Yeah, I'm not
Later on, but it depends on the years and everything.
So I brought it in a couple of years ago because I wasn't sure. There are too many different models of the carburetor under one part number, so it didn't make sense to me. So
8 and 9 horse are going to be the same. The 9's going to use an 8, and then they jump to 10 and 12. They jump to 12.
So I brought it to the local guy. I said, go over the thing, change all the belts, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And he changed the car. I get it back, and the thing's dieseling like crazy. I said, what are you doing? What did you do? I said, what do you mean? I says, didn't you run this thing? He says, why? I says, it's going, it's like, so I brought it back to him.
That's the governor. Or
the governor, okay? And, once I realized what it was, because it went back to him twice, okay? Mm-hmm. I says, the governor is not adjusted right. He said, we can't get it any better. I said, obviously then you don't know how to adjust it. Okay? I said to him, I said, you see how this moves? He goes, yeah. I says, that means the pieces inside aren't broke. Okay? He says, okay. I says, let me show you how to do it. And I went in and I showed him, and we started up, and it was like, I said, there you go. And he says, you got to be kidding me. That's that simple to adjust. I go, yeah.
And this is a mechanic for small engines?
Wow.
They do all kinds of stuff.
I see a lot of that stuff, even around where I live.
I says, holy shoot. I said, you guys really disappointed me.
Yeah, my neighbor has one like yours, Andy. I think it was an 8 or a 10. Anyway, he left old gas in it. Oh, he got it from somebody for $25. A nice big
Yeah.
one. And so I said, well, we work on mini bikes all the time. Give me the carb. And he just brought the whole thing up here, and I threw the carb was nasty. I threw it in the sonic cleaner, and just rebuilt the carb, and that thing just was awesome.
I mean, so it's like because what it was is I didn't know enough about small engines at the time, right? And I said, like, so I watched a few videos. Oh shit! Now it all makes sense. Now I understand it. So I went out there and I took out the main bowl, which is the big jet, and then there's the other little jet. The little jet was all clogged.
Yeah, you take a little speaker wire.
Yeah, but I mean, I took care of it. It was nothing. I have the mini drill bits.
Oh,
I have those little super fine jeweler level, whatever you want to call them, and I little pin vise and just cleaned it right out. Okay, put it back together. It's, I said that was all that was wrong with my carburetor that was on there.
it is usually, yeah. It's the your main at the bottom and the little one on the side.
So now I make sure I use when I buy gas. Okay, I don't buy a ton of it. I buy like 2 gallons at a time, and I put sea foam in it.
Yeah,
I buy rec gas here,
or stable. Yeah,
recreational.
Well, the sea foam has cleaners in it.
You never use rec gas up there where you live?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't have ethanol in it here.
They don't. Yeah, but it's like $10 for a quart.
I only pay right now
Wow.
$3.80 a gallon. $3.80 a gallon.
Oh.
No, they don't sell it out of a pump here. It's in little cans on the shelf.
Yeah, we got it in a pump here.
Yeah, as long as winter's over, just drain the gas, make sure it's all out of there, and you're fine.
Well,
You know what I do to my rider? I put a little bit of stable in it, crank it, let it run through the carb, and I leave the fuel in it. And I've never had it go bad next spring. I don't even drain it.
No, I let it run out, but I mean, I started using the stable, not stable, the other stuff, and
Seafoam.
Seafoam actually has a cleaner in it,
Yeah,
not a stabilizer.
Yeah,
So and you can put as much of it in as you want. You can put it in heavy to clean, and it really doesn't affect the performance of the motor. So it is a lifesaver. A lot of the bikers use that. The last tank or two of gas they use in during the summer before they put the bike away, they fill it. They put the seafoam in it to clean it all out.
My brother uses a marine stable, and he puts a little bit in his gas tank for years in his Ram truck all the time.
Well, motorcycle, you got to keep it a full tank when you store it.
He bought him a Harley last year.
You don't keep the tank full; it rusts.
it'll rust like
Not a plastic tank. Like your lawnmower.
with today's gas, it'll rust.
Yeah.
I got to keep that reminds me, I got to keep the tractor gas tank full.
All right, guys, I got to go. Have a good night, everyone.
Night, man.
Yeah. Well, we can make it a short chat. We've been on a couple hours anyway. So, hey, good night, Andy. Geez, he's gone. So,
Appreciate you having me on, man.
yeah. Anytime. And you're going to love casting because it's like the first time you cast, like having your first baby. It's awesome. I made this bullet.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Years ago, I can't remember who, it might have been Tim. Somebody made some green neon powder-coated bullets. Man, them things were bright green, intense. I said, I like those. They're like zombie bullets.
Julio had an old video with neon green bullets. Yeah.
Is he home? I actually sent him an email today asking, was he okay? How is he doing?
Yeah, it's a couple of days ago. He was doing better. He's just he's got a what do you call it, rehab or whatever. Go through all the, what do you call it, rehab? What do you call it when you're injured and you got a
rehabilitation rehab? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can't think of nothing tonight.
Yeah, I sent him an email saying, I hope you're doing well and all that. I think I checked. It's been I figured he was busy or still doing something with his illness or something.
Yeah, I'm just glad he's home and doing okay. So,
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
yeah, so he's just got to go through that and rehabilitate. That's not. Why does that remind me of? Anyway, so Fuzzy doesn't want anyone to watch the Super Bowl.
I'm not watching it.
Yeah, who's even in it? Kansas City and somebody else. Who's in it?
Heck, I'll stream tomorrow. Maybe do a show. Or something.
Yeah, I got a lot to do tomorrow. We got to take care of a couple things.
Andy says, "What is the Super Bowl?"
Oh, the 49ers. Yeah.
I haven't been to a bar in a Super Bowl since probably, God, 80, 88, 89. Yeah.
Tread is here. Tread has been lurking.
Yeah, he was with me the other day in the show, me and Mike.
Hey, Tread.
Appreciate that. And HIPAA used to be with us all the time. One time. I've been streaming so irregular the past, year because of that car, doing things with that car. And really not really the health. Most of the time it's the car. I'm doing things here with it. Nobody knows when I'm going to do a show anymore. And I don't get notifications on my brand new phone. Even if I set notifications, I don't get them. I have to go look at the little bell, click on it, look down, and then I'll see Uncle Jim streaming tonight. But I don't get any notifications. Crazy.
Yeah, just don't.
Clicked on yours and a bunch of people.
I'm not watching the Super Bowl. I hate soccer. Yeah, the only sport I really watch is UFC now because they can say what they want.
I just got through buffering. Funny, I'm on fiber optic, and I've been having buffering problems lately the past few days.
Oh, yeah, you are buffering.
Yeah, because I did it the other week, and they called me and said, everything okay? I haven't rebooted the router. Just rebooted it before I come on here. All of a sudden, I'm seeing circles. PC. Figures.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, and we'll just do a shorty tonight. And love everyone in the side chat. Love you guys. Oh, and Eagle Eye, get a hold of Taco. He's been wondering what's going on. So I talked to him yesterday, and I told him I'd tell you to get a hold of him. So get a hold of Taco. Eagle Eye. All right. Good night, Scotsman. Good night, everybody. Love y'all. Until next time. Wait a minute. I got to get to the button first. All right. Until next time.